So it seems like there's a lot of different properties, like hunting tracts and tillable tracts, that go for different prices depending on where they're at in the state. Why is that? Is there a reason that one property is more expensive than the other, just depending on location?
Yeah, like a lot of it on the farmland side, it's competitiveness of the neighborhood and the certain type of crop, and is it allowed to have manure put on it for fertilizer, or do we have to use a salt-based fertilizer, how close it is for like location to grain markets. There's many different things. The rain schedule's going to be irrigated on, what's the capacity of the well, what's the kind of crop, is it going to grow 100 bushel corn or 300 bushel corn, what are the animal units of how many cow-calf pairs can go on that. So there's many different, when it comes to tillable ground, it's all based on production. So when we're raising this yield or its worth because of its location to the river or to rail or to an ethanol plant or to a feed grinding facility, how the market and what it's going to cost us to get it there, as well as how much of the product, the commodity that's grown there, is what's it worth. Chicago Board of Trade for corn might be here. Well, there might be a plus basis because it's on the river, or it might be close to an ethanol plant that really needs more product. So it can really change when it comes to that. And then the land value is producing more per acre, or the rental market there is super competitive for whatever reason. So it rents for $300 an acre versus $600 an acre, depending on what it is. So it's all going to be based on the rate of return that the land produces, the yield that it produces, how many crops or cattle or whatever the thing that's being grown on the land. That's going to affect the price, even though it looks like cornfield in Missouri versus cornfield in Iowa versus cornfield in Minnesota or Nebraska. Like, why does one sell for $5,000, one for $10,000, one for $20,000? And why is that? It's almost always based on the production and the location to what type of commodity market or grain market. On the hunting side, it's competitiveness to the market. So what is the deer quality? What's the fishing quality? Is it pretty? What's the neighborhood like? What town is close to get a UTV fixed, or a tractor dealership to have a tractor serviced? Is it close to the city? Like, if you look at hunting land outside of St. Louis, Missouri, an hour versus 5 hours, it's going to substantially reduce the price. Like in northern Missouri, the land sells for cheaper than around St. Louis for that reason, much like hunting land that's in northeastern Iowa is higher priced than southern Iowa, because you have Rochester, La Crosse, you have a really pretty area that has great restaurants and places where people go for vacation, whereas like southern Iowa might be deer hunting only as the main focus, and you have smaller towns and less amenities in those towns, and there's places like that in Wisconsin, Minnesota, you name it, all over. So location of the city, quality of the deer, availability for licenses, like in the state of Iowa. If you're a non-resident, you can't get a deer hunting license every year. You might have to wait 3 to 5 years, whereas in Missouri or Minnesota or Wisconsin, you can buy it over the counter every single year. And then deer quality for how big the antlers are going to get there, or what type of animal is being hunted on that recreational property. So there's a lot of variables, obviously, but it's quality of the land based on quality of the experience on the land that a buyer is willing to pay for, as well as what kind of yield or product that farm is going to make as an investment for somebody buying it.